a lively discussion of current events and legal issues pertinent to Oklahomans. The Verdict is hosted by Kent Myers and Mick Cornett. It's time for The Verdict.
Hello there, good morning. Welcome back to the set of The Verdict. Mick Cornett with Kent Myers, and today we welcome back one of our favorite guests.
One of our favorite guests and a guest on our very first show. And by the way, happy anniversary.
What anniversary?
This is our 4th anniversary, believe it or not, folks, and a lot of people don't. We've been on 4 years. April of 2001 was our very first show, and one of our guests on the very first show was John Nance, who's been kind enough to come back and celebrate our anniversary with us, talking about a subject that, while this is a jovial time on the anniversary, it's not a jovial subject. It's talking about what Oklahoma County is trying to do and what kind of problems it has in regard to incarcerating the mentally ill, and what are the alternatives to that. Yeah, national issue, state issue, but certainly in this case, a local issue that does have an impact on the ability of Oklahoma County to operate a successful correctional and jail facility. We'll be right back. John Nance will be joining us. You're watching The Verdict right here on KSPI.
I don't know if they were low bid or not.
It was supposed to be, kind of cutting edge, and this is the way it should be.
Hi, I'm Leo with Graves Satellite, and we are overstocked. We can't even find our restrooms. So for a limited time, we're paying you $49 to take the Satellite. It's a 4-room system, a free digital video recorder in 2 rooms, plus a free high-definition receiver. The big basic package of over 70 channels is about $30 a month, and movie channels start at just $1. Wow, all that plus we pay you $49. Better call now, because we reserve the right to end this promotion at any time or as soon as we find our restrooms. Hey, there it is.
All children deserve a life of hope and love, but sometimes they experience a life of pain, neglect, and abuse.
When that happens, each child deserves all the quality assistance and representation that can be offered in our legal system. For more information, call 23-CHILD.
Oklahoma Lawyers for Children, helping to bring hope and love back to the lives of abused children.
Folks, you hear it all over the news, and unfortunately, gas is going up. So Big Red Sports and Imports, we're going to do something to help you with that. Right now, you can come in to Big Red Sports and Imports, pick out an 05 Kia Rio, pay only $79.88, get 40 miles to the gallon, and get a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Think about it. $79.88, 40 miles to the gallon, 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. We don't have one. We have over 100 in stock right now at Oklahoma's car store. Big Red Sports and Imports, I-35, Norman.
Injury victims. If you or a loved one has been injured as a result of a motor vehicle accident, a slip and fall, or because of a doctor, hospital, or nursing home mistake, call the law offices of Friedman & Associates at 1-800-516-4181. Big insurance companies have lawyers fighting for them, protecting their interests. Our lawyers will fight for you to get the money you deserve, the money the law entitles you to. There are deadlines for bringing injury claims. Call 1-800-516-4181. The call is free. There is no legal fee unless you get money. Call 1-800-516-4181.
Listen to Brady's Forecast on 93.3 KKNG.
Open the door and say, see you later.
That's correct. The sheriff and I have talked many times about this, and I'm sorry he couldn't be here today. He had a conflict. I wanted him to be here because he'd be much more understanding of the actual program we're going to talk about. But what you do in the jail down there, if they're coming in as a mental problem, they're going to go out the same way, because all they do is administer the drugs that the doctor gives to them, and that really doesn't help them with the problem. So all we're doing really is warehousing them. They come in that way, they go out that way, and this program is aimed at trying to get them some help so that they are improved after their problems with the jail.
Well, our inmates who have a mental illness, are they housed with inmates who do not have a mental illness?
It's my understanding that there is some separation, I think partly because of security reasons, but basically there's a mix in there. I mean, they have problems keeping all of their inmates separated.
So does the county have doctors on staff that deal with the mentally ill
Yes,
inmates?
it is the only jail in the state that has a full-time psychiatrist, which is a medical doctor with a specialization in psychiatry. But they also have a medical staff. They're screened when they come in to identify any problems they might have, whether it be a physical or a mental condition, so that at least it's made of record. And if they need immediate attention, they have to go to a hospital.
I would think in any detention center or jail, there would be conduct problems between the inmates.
Oh, yes.
And that's just a given. But I would think they'd be made much worse if some of the inmates had mental problems that stirred up the altercations and the like with the other inmates. Is that
I think that's
is the
part of the
conduct
problem.
worse because of that?
Yeah. The atmosphere down there is not a church social, and so you have people that are really hardcore criminals, but you also have people who may just have problems with mental illness and they've gotten in trouble because they broke into something or they were indigent in some way and were taken to the jail for some violation of the law. So you do have that mix, and it is a tremendous mix. I've been in that jail, and I don't know how anybody stands a daily dose of that every day. It's just very difficult.
Well, John, as a state representative, it seems like at some point the state of Oklahoma made a decision that we're no longer going to have mental illness facilities around the state where people are going to be housed. And the result is we've got the situation now where our jail in the Oklahoma County has become the largest mental health facility. Is this where we thought we were headed when we kind of transitioned this way, or is this where we ended up? Do we need to go back the other way? What's your opinion as a state representative looking after the benefit of all of Oklahoma?
As a representative, I think a lot of those decisions were made prior to my coming into the House of Representatives, but there's no question we do have a population that needs help, and many of those people are going to violate the law. And what this program that we're going to talk about today, I think, is at least an alternative to assisting these people to get out of the problems that they're faced with. So this day program may be a solution. It's fairly new, and it's going to have some experimentation involved.
Well, I mean, we're talking about a cost here, basically.
Yes.
I mean, if a dollar is going to be spent on someone who's mentally ill or can't take care of themselves, do we do that at a hospital? Do we do that at a jail? Or what you're saying is there may be a more efficient way to handle the program and through some sort of day program.
Basically, the per diem cost to keep someone in the county jail is around $36 plus. In this program, it will cost about $11 a day, and they'll be into a program where they're getting assistance. So there's a savings there, and he's estimated that savings to be somewhere in the neighborhood, extrapolated out maybe as much as $800,000.
Okay, well, I think we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit.
Okay.
Let's take a break, come back, and get more into that. John Nance is visiting with us. We're discussing the mentally ill in Oklahoma County and how they're being housed at the Oklahoma County Jail, principally. John Nance, our guest, Kent Myers, and I'll be right back.
How much are you paying for internet service? $21? $23? Aren't you being charged too much? We think so. With People PC Online, you get unlimited internet access for only $10.95 a month. Go to peoplepc.com now to try us free for 30 days and compare us with your current ISP. With People PC Online, you get internet service for less than half of what the big guys cost. And that's just the beginning. You also get more local access numbers than AOL, plus a smart dialer that automatically chooses the fastest, most reliable number. So you always get the best connection. All for just $10.95 a month. Try People PC Online free for 30 days and see for yourself. Go to peoplepc.com for a quick 3-minute download of our easy-to-use software. Or call 1-800-620-7123. People PC Online, a better way to internet.
Heritage Hall, an independent college preparatory school. Here we celebrate our scientists, our athletes, our mathematicians, and our future artists.
Our students love to learn. A welcoming school for children aged 3 through grade 12. We are a community. We are a family. We are Heritage Hall.
When the IRS levied my business and personal accounts, I didn't know where to turn. My CPA recommended American Tax Relief.
Thousands of honest, hardworking Americans have turned to American Tax Relief. Good people, just like you, whose circumstances left them owing taxes they couldn't pay. People like the Clarks, who, due to illness and family emergencies, owed the IRS $30,000.
American Tax Relief got them to accept a fraction of what we owed.
And they let us keep our home.
If you owe over $10,000 to the IRS or state, call American Tax Relief for a free consultation. Find out how they can help you settle for less than you owe.
You wouldn't think of going to court without a lawyer. Why would you deal with the IRS alone?
I thought I was going to lose my business, but American Tax Relief got me a second chance.
Look, the IRS is offering you a one-time opportunity to settle your debt. This is your 1 second chance. Use it well.
Call 800-294-1563 for your free consultation. Call 800-294-1563 now and settle for less.
Here's your 7-day forecast on KSVI. Here are the current conditions at the airport. Here's a live look from our KSVI State Cam network. You can check it out online, ksvitv.com. And currently across the state of Oklahoma. Here's a look at the national satellite and radar loop over the past few hours.
Welcome back to the set of The Verdict. Mick Cornett, Kent Myers, and our guest is State Representative John Nance. We've been discussing the Oklahoma County Jail and really the issue of the mentally ill being housed at the jail and all of the factors that are led to because of that. Kent, where are we now?
If we think incarcerating the mentally ill is not the appropriate way to handle that particular person charged with the crime, what else should we do? What are the alternatives to jailing the mentally ill?
Well, the day program, I think, is going to be an experiment that I think has a lot of promise to it. We see a lot of promise from...
That's what it's called, the day program. D-A-Y, day program.
They're out of the jail, but they have to report to someone in the program twice a day, once personally. They can talk on the phone a couple of times, but they're very carefully monitored. They're subject to a lot of detail in their lives so that they know where they are and what they're doing.
Before we bring up a graphic, let's ask, is the day reporting program now in place, or is it something that's being proposed?
It's more than proposed. It's in process because he is evaluating persons in their county jail right now to see if they will qualify for the program.
The sheriff?
The sheriff is, yes.
Well, let's call up a graphic and look at the 9-step process for the day reporting program. And let's leave that up for a second, but John, just kind of don't read it, but just generally tell us what's involved in the program.
The screening is very difficult, and people to qualify for it are going to have to go through several different areas of screening. In fact, the sheriff told me out of 150 they have looked at thus far, only 7 qualified and 3 of them bonded out. So at this current time, we have only 4 people who are qualified or are actually in the program.
And I guess that goes through the medical people at the jail administrators, then the public defender or the district attorney,
yes,
and then finally to the judge.
That's correct.
And the judge is the one that makes the final decision on whether an inmate is released to the day reporting program or stays jailed.
That's correct. It's a very, very unique screening program, and it's not easy to get in the program.
Well, once you're in it, what do you do? If you're discharged on the day reporting program, what are your responsibilities?
My understanding is that they are to become an active citizen. They do have to report to the program at least 3 times a day. 2 can be done remotely, but 1 has to be done face-to-face with the program manager. And that way they know where the people are, they know what they're doing, and they are in treatment. So they are getting some psychiatric care, and their medications are being properly distributed to them. So they are getting care, and if the program works like we think it will, they will come out of this program a much better person they would if they were just housed in a county jail.
What happens to the inmate that's released, passes all the tests, released to the day reporting program, and then just refuses to show up?
If he fails, he goes back to jail. That's basically that's the bottom line.
One of the disconnects I have, on the surface, it seems like that this is a cost savings, but you're saying it actually is better for the inmate or better for the patient, inmate/patient.
Right.
How so? How are they a more productive person in this program as opposed to the current system?
Well, number one, when they're in the jail, all it's really done for them is they're housed and they are specifically given whatever psychotropic medication is prescribed for them. They watch them take the medication because they don't want them, secreting it off or not taking their medication. But this way, they're going to be medicated properly. They're going to have counseling, and then they're going to be out in the public where they can actually become an active citizen. So there are a lot of things that are going to make them better. Rather than just sleeping on a park bench, they're going to be required to have an active life as though they were a regular citizen. So I think there's a lot of value. And if I could digress a little bit, we've had tremendous amount of success through the drug court program, and we think this is going to be fashioned very similar to that. The recidivism rates are great. Those people become active in the society. They become tax-paying citizens, and instead of just being housed doing their time, they come out and they're much improved. And we think this program will silhouette that a lot.
Well, if you said this before, I missed it. Is there a percentage, a target percentage that might be appropriate to be in this program? Certainly, 100% of the mentally ill would not be the population you would want to put in this program. But what's realistic?
Well, right now it's so new, I don't think we can give it. But that statistic that I gave you, out of 150 screenings of the people that he has in the county jail right now, 7 qualified through the program, but 3 of them have bonded out, so they're not in the program. They're out on their own, but they're going to get the kind of help they need that the 4 that are in the program are going to get.
So you're not talking about half, or I mean, it doesn't appear that we're going to be talking about large numbers?
They were targeting 60. And that's what their program is based on, trying to get 60 people qualified to go into the program. And of course, it's going to change depending on the individual needs. Some people will be a shorter time in the program, others are going to be longer. So it's impossible with that many variables to say specifically.
Knowing public perception, as I think all of us do, there's going to be this perception that you're letting everybody out.
Right.
And that every crime that's committed must have been done by one of these people because that crime hadn't been committed before. So how do you handle the public perception of these people who have been diagnosed as being mentally ill are now just released on the streets?
Well, of course, if they come out either through bonding or they served their time, they're going to be back on the street. The improvement we have here is that they have actually gone through some care that they may be improved mentally and be on a program where they can continue that mental course.
Where did this day reporting program originate? Is this something from the sheriff, or did this come from
I'm not
state,
sure whether that came from some other state or some other idea. Our sheriff is involved nationally and internationally. He's been a leader in many sheriff's associations, so he may have picked it up somewhere else. But it does compare very well to the drug court system we have, and we're expanding that, which should save us millions, really.
Of the 4 or so that have qualified, have they made it all the way through the program and have actually been released?
I don't think so. I think they're still in the program, but again, depending on their needs, they will come out at different times. But they have qualified for the 9 screening process because otherwise they wouldn't be in the program.
It's part of the sense here is that something's got to be done.
Yes.
I mean, that the way we've been doing it just cannot continue for financial reasons, but also just from the perspective, it just makes no sense to have mentally ill people in a jail that need to be in a hospital or need to be with a family member.
That's correct. I think it has at least the potential to help these people improve their life and improve their situation because of their mental illness or their addictions or their combination of the two.
John, put your predictor hat on for a minute and look down the road 5 years and assume that this day reporting program works and the drug courts continue to work. What benefits do you see to Oklahomans for this kind of alternative arrangement?
Well, as you know, all of our prisons are filled, our jails are full, they're overcrowded, we haven't turned people to other alternatives. And if this works, like the drug court has been working, we'll not only save millions, but we'll save a lot of our bed space in our jails. We won't have to create and build new facilities to house people that are coming into the system.
I'd like to just change subjects. We've got a state representative with us here today. We've been talking about a very specific program, but down at the state legislature and taping the show this week, what's going on down there that you can discuss or you'd like to tell us about?
We've got a lot of bills. I'm on revenue and tax, and we've got a lot of bills that are trying to relieve some of the tax loads on our senior citizens and on those who have retired. We have a lot of people at Tinker Air Force Base who have retired, and they could move easily 100 miles south and not have a state income tax on their on their retirement. So that's some of the issues, the fixing of the property tax so that it fixes at a certain time or a certain level of income. And that's going to save money. We've got things like, and I understand you were on the news today about these tax-exempt times for shopping, that it does hurt the municipalities. That can be fixed as well. They can still get a part of that tax and not hurt the municipalities, and that's one of the issues. But there's a lot of things going on. The lawsuit reform, workers' compensation reform, those issues have come out, and of course we had a major deal that related to, a bill that related to the activities of the Attorney General. We've had a very active time. In fact, last week we stayed till midnight 3 nights, and then actually had a Friday meeting because of the backlog of bills, and now we're hearing Senate bills. And the other issue, of course, is the question of how the senior citizen over there, our senior Senator Hobson, whether or not he's going to survive this deal. And I was understanding today that they were going to ask him to step down, so I don't know if that's going to happen or not.
And we're taping this show during the week, so that could have already been resolved.
That could have been.
Yeah.
It probably has been already.
All right.
You're right.
John, we appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Well, I appreciate being here.
And we'll see you on our 8th anniversary
All right.
show.
Well, I hope so. I'm honored to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.
John Nance, our guest in today's edition of The Verdict. Kent and I'll be back with the final word after this.
American Express Tax and Business Services. We're accountants. We do taxes, business valuations, estate planning, and consulting. And we're right here in Oklahoma, working with the owners of small and medium-sized businesses. Steve Wilsey and Stuart Meyer have the resources and the experience. American Express Tax and Business Services. In Oklahoma City, the phone number is 405-843-5311.
Attention Unum, Provident, and Paul Revere insurance policyholders. If you are a professional and had your disability insurance claim denied or terminated, you may be entitled to compensation. Again, if you are a professional and had your disability insurance claim denied or terminated from the Unum, Provident, or Paul Revere insurance companies, call the law offices of James Sokolov.
Call 800-553-3213. That's 800-553-3213.
An important message for users of the drug Vioxx.
The FDA warns that those who take Vioxx may double their risk of heart attack, stroke, or even sudden cardiac death.
On September 30th, 2004, the largest prescription drug recall in history was issued for Vioxx. However, researchers have suggested that Vioxx should have been withdrawn years earlier.
Merck, the multi-billion-dollar manufacturer of Vioxx, may be to blame for your heart attack or stroke. You could be entitled to a large cash award, but you need to act now to preserve your legal rights.
The law firm of Robert Goldwater and their affiliates know how to make companies like Merck pay for their mistakes. Call for a free case review today. Get the justice and financial compensation you deserve.
Have you or a family member been the victim of a Vioxx-caused heart attack or stroke? Call the law firm of Robert Goldwater right now. Get the compensation the law entitles you to. Call 1-800-421-5200. That's 1-800-421-5200.
Do you want to own a computer but have less than perfect credit, bad credit, no problem. If you have a checking account, a home phone, and can afford a payment of just $35 a week, Blue Hippo Funding says you're approved, guaranteed.
I'm Mike Jones, and I got mine.
You're approved for a brand new name brand computer. Your only qualification is a checking account, home phone, and a payment of just $35 a week for 12 months.
I got mine.
Your approval is guaranteed. If you can afford $35 a week for just 12 months and have an active checking account and a home phone, you're already approved, guaranteed.
I got mine. Call right now and tell us where you want your brand new, brand name computer delivered. I got mine.
And if you call within the next 10 minutes, we'll include with your order a free upgraded monitor, a free web camera, and a free 1-year warranty and in-home tech support. Call now and get yours. Blue Hippo Funding says you're approved for the computer of your dreams. Guaranteed.
Need an extra arm to clean in those really hard-to-reach areas? Introducing the Glass Wizard. Its specially designed wedge-shaped head easily goes where you can't. It quickly cleans film, buildup, and fingerprints right before your eyes. Grease on a mirror won't clean with paper towels, but the Glass Wizard's microfiber material cuts through grease and completely cleans the surface. The secret's the washable microfiber bonnet specially made for polishing glass. Clean without chemicals, and it won't leave smears on your windows and mirrors. You also get the Grindbuster bonnet for cleaning your windshield, headlamps, and all kinds of outdoor glass, and it's great for soap scum on shower doors. It also works with any standard mop pole for added reach. Order now and you'll get the complete Glass Wizard set for just $19.99. But call right now and you'll get a second Glass Wizard for your car. It's the easy way to keep your windshield crystal clear for safe driving. That's 2 deluxe Glass Wizard sets, a $60 value, all for just $19.99.
Call now and you'll receive your complete Glass Wizard kit for just $19.99 plus shipping and handling. Call 1-800-206-6655.
When severe weather threatens Oklahoma, Brady Bruce and the KSBI weather team are already taking action, tracking the storm with Oklahoma's first and only State Cam network. With the KSBI State Cam network, Brady instantly shows live coverage of severe weather as it moves across Oklahoma. KSBI, your family's weather source.
This is the Mantis Tiller Cultivator. It weighs only 20 pounds, but packs more power than you might have thought possible. The Mantis Tiller digs in at 240 revolutions a minute, and optional attachments handle all kinds of gardening chores. This is a remarkable machine. And here's a remarkable offer. Purchase a Mantis Tiller direct from the factory, use it for a year, and if you don't absolutely love it, send it back and we'll refund your money.
For free information, call 1-800-442-5335.
Welcome back to the set of the verdict. Our guest on today's show was John Nance, who has a long career in law enforcement, and also serves the state of Oklahoma as a state representative. And we were discussing the Oklahoma County Jail and really the mentally ill that are housed there and how is all that working. And he had some really good ideas.
He really does. He and the sheriff are working together to try to get this day reporting program up and running to see if that can relieve the strain and perhaps give more appropriate treatment to those charged that have mental problems. I might mention to you, he mentioned in his discussion of the legislative work, the Attorney General bill, and we had Drew Edmondson on previously talking about the limiting of the powers of the Attorney General, and next week we will have Representative Fred Morgan on, who is a proponent of that bill. He'll be talking about that and other things. Should be interesting.
I look forward to that. I'm glad you're with us. We're every Sunday morning, 9 o'clock on KSBI. The Verdict. See you next week.